Welcome everybody to Beyond the Ordinary Show in this special live call with Colby Wilk. And today we're going to be speaking about, is your vibration rising at the cost of your physical and emotional well-being? And this is a huge topic because there's so much that goes on. And so many of us that are, I'll call us spiritual adventurers, that these soul ascension chasers, at what cost? At what cost? There's always a balance that takes place. And if we're constantly doing this, where's something becoming out of balance? Or is it even becoming out of balance when you raise that high or in different ways? And Colby is going to bring in amazing insight as to things that we may want to look at and also see where we can bring it back in balance, where we may be out of balance, and how to really, I'll call it for right now, compensate so that we're really humming on all cylinders. So it's going to be a fantastic call. Colby's also going to open up to Q&A, and Colby's Q&As are phenomenal. It's like getting a mini session that you'll get something stimulated. And today's special offer includes a private session in it as well with Colby, and it's 30 minutes with him. We'll get more into that a little bit later, but that session, 30 minutes with Colby, it's like 2 hours working with somebody else, because you just go and you go deep and you open and you go deep and you open again. And he's so precise. It's amazing. So you guys will get to experience that precision in mini readings that we'll get to on the call today as well. And for you to ask your question, let's just do that now. You can type your question into the Q&A box, into the chat box, or if you are on the live Zoom call, you can click on the bottom attendee icon. When you click on that, it'll give you the opportunity to raise your hand so that I can put you live on video and you can ask your personal questions. So again, this is gonna be a lot of fun. What else do I need to tell you about Colby? He has this amazing ability to just tune in and just hone into that little thing that'll open so much up, that give this pathway of energy, of awareness, of consciousness, of truth to flow through you. And so he holds a high frequency, and while he's tuning in, you have the opportunity to release what kept you stuck or confused or limited. And sometimes it happens simultaneously when your system is reminded of the highest state, and sometimes it's even more gradual. So again, we'll get to experience that with Colby today. And again, if you haven't experienced Colby before, you're in for an amazing treat. And if you have, you're in for an amazing treat. And Colby, it's with that I want to welcome you back to Beyond the Ordinary. Thanks for being here.
Yay, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's so wonderful. So let's dive right into today's topic. Is our vibration rising at the cost of our physical and emotional well-being? Why would that even be a question for you?
Well, myself, and what I've seen with others is we're questing to reach liberation, enlightenment, and in turn, we're doing ourselves some damage. So I'd like to ask everyone, are you better off than before you began your spiritual journey? And it's possible that things are better, but it's also possible some things are worse. Some people consider their ailments ascension symptoms, but maybe they're not ascension symptoms. Maybe they're your body saying, hey, stop, slow down. What I've seen with clients and with myself, digestive issues, insomnia, rashes, unexplainable ailments, depression, isolation, alienation, can all be signs that you're doing too much, too fast. And thus, ascension redemption. How do you redeem yourself after questing for spirituality, after being an energy junkie, grasping at spirituality as a cure-all for your suffering? If spirituality worked the way that we think it worked, we would have been healed already. Something is amiss. This is the dark side, the secret of dark side of spirituality. Instead of grasping after spirituality, spirituality needs to be something that's allowed. And what I've found is there are basically three groups. People who have never really embodied. People who came into the body and were like, whoa, what did I choose? And so they kept the doors to the outer realms open, weakening their body. Or people who have sought to heal themselves visiting shamans and energy healers and doing workshops, bringing in all these energies, some of which are incompatible with the system, overfilling themselves, and their nervous system is saying, whoa. Or the third group, people who take care of other people and put other people's needs ahead of their own and have lost track of their own wellness. So what I'm seeing is people questing after spirituality, trying to raise their vibration, but not feeling really well. And so what I'd like to do today is help people regain their health by embodying, by deepening, by becoming more present, calm, by bringing in their life force so that awe and wonder and love comes through.
That's wonderful, Colby. What would you say about all of these external environmental influences that are taking us on a quickening pace of this ascension? We've got all these planetary influences. We've got solar flares and the radiation and how our body's acclimating to that. We have a collective that's awakening at a pace that perhaps we haven't ever seen for humankind in this ascensionary type of vibration. How do we balance that out? How we know that there's speed happening regardless? How does that tie into what you're talking about? Are you talking about how us as junkies take that and even want to speed it up even more?
So there's a couple of things going on. Yeah, there are more awakening energies than before. And there's also more fear, more consternation than there was before. And so for sensitives, it can be difficult to not get swept up into the fear while the awakening energies are vibrating our system and therefore magnifying the fear for us. So we can choose to put our attention onto the fear or onto the awakened energies, but we need to first descend into our bodies so we can integrate the awakened energies that's coming in. If we're not descended, we're gonna catch the awakened energy and then follow it to more of the frenetic energy. So a lot of people are finding themselves getting more nutty.
I like that you're talking about this because I talk about it as far as really acclimatizing to our emotional states, to allow the process of our emotions to fluidly go through us and attune to our organic way of being. Because again, we were taught to stop short, many of us at a young age, with our anger or our sadness or our sensuality because it made other people feel uncomfortable. So no, you're sad, stop it right there. And it wouldn't process through our bodies. We didn't have the familiarity or the intimacy with the emotion, knowing what to do with it, both cognitively and from a physiological perspective. And what you're saying makes so much sense to me because we're stopping the process short before it integrates, before it attunes through us. We're moving on to the next thing, and we're not really acclimatizing the full benefits of what we're have the potential to receive.
Yeah, as the old Lotto commercial goes, you got to be present to win. And if you're not embodied, you're out there and you're getting ping-ponged not only by the awakened energies, but by the collective fear consciousness. And so you've got to come in, experience your feelings, experience your ground, and you can bring we don't have a body by accident. This is our tool. This is our co-creator. This is what we need to work in this reality.
And so what are some practices that you use with your clients to help them to be more present to what they're integrating rather than being all over the place? Because it's easy to get distracted too. There's a lot of shiny objects to chase. There's a lot of promise. If you do this, you'll get this. There's a lot of the suffering's going to end soon. So it's like we're sprinting to the finish line.
Right. There's no magic pill, right?
Right. Yeah.
So the first practice I teach everyone I work with, I call still point, where you bring your attention 3 fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you. Your Dantian, your Hara, it's also referred to. And by bringing your attention down and in, your consciousness rests in your body and you experience a deeper calm. So let's just do that now.
Great.
So everyone bring your attention 3 fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you. And breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, bringing your attention down. And if it helps, you can imagine an eyeball in that area looking out, and you'll notice that you enter into a deeper state of calm, rest. Calm gives birth to gratitude. Gratitude gives birth to joy. But so many of us are rushing towards joy, and then we're out. We have to first find calm. And still point, the reason it's called still point is because you get still when you're there. And if you're not in your body, the energies, your guides, your energies have a harder time finding you. You have a harder time getting benefit. Can you feel the difference?
I can. There's a stillness that starts taking place, and there's a receptivity and an intelligence that I feel actually waking up. It's like it become more open to my environment, but in the most positive way, not in the sensitive, erratic way that could potentially show up. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a nice calm. It's a nice calm.
So how do we recognize sometimes, because again, a lot of times we don't know that we have gotten away from ourselves in this.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? I mean, I speak to a lot of people who are really scared, but don't even know they're scared, who feel insecure and don't know they're insecure. They're just overwhelmed by their circumstances. So if you have a sense of overwhelm, or you have a sense that your life is off course, you're not descendant, you're not embodied. Because when you are, you're calm and you have well-being, regardless of what's going on out here.
That makes sense. And so what else can we do to release those blocks of all of this evolution that we've accumulated that perhaps has some scarring on it, and it's now negatively impacting us? Again, we could have more mental and physical fatigue than we had before. It can be affecting our adrenals. It can be affecting our quality of sleep. How do we how do we release those things that seem to be blocking us?
Sure. So I would love to teach some practices when we're going to take live calls. I'm glad to do that. But first, we have to descend into our bodies with that still point and get in contact with ourselves. And breathing very slow slows down the fight or flight response. Because you need to know well-being before well-being shows up out here. Well-being exists within this. You need to remind yourself, okay, I'm coming in. I'm okay. Right now, I'm okay. Why don't we pray ourselves in, John? Is that all right?
I think that's wonderful. Yes.
God, Lord, all that is, all that's ever been, all that's ever mattered and truly existed. Thank you for my life. Thank you for the good life of John and all these people in this tribe. Calling in the names of the divine, Atanaho, Yahweh, my Lord God, my maker, my designer, the horn god, Shiva, Rama, the great mystery. We invite you now, and we invite the guides that I've established for this call to establish the classroom that we're in, to make learning more effective and easy for all involved. And you'll feel a bunch of beings around you now, assisting you to find greater well-being, greater stability, greater resilience, greater durability. We thank you for showing up. And we invite your participation as we step in to remembering ourselves. Thank you.
Beautiful, Colby. So what were you getting in that prayer for the audience again as part of the release? Like, what are you picking up collectively for us? And as Colby
You know,
gets into, I'm sorry, Colby, I'll finish this. And as Colby gets into that, I want to remind you that Colby is going to take live Q&A. So if you want to raise your hand to ask your question live, just click on the participants button at the bottom of your screen. It'll allow you to raise your hand, or you can type your question into the chat box or Q&A box. And sorry to interrupt, Colby.
no, please. You're gorgeous. You can do whatever you want. Kidding me?
Oh my God.
Look at you, for God's sakes. You know, I see a woman sitting behind the piano, and she's afraid to play the piano. And what that means to me is the collective is like, I'm afraid to play my song.
Wow.
I'm afraid to be what I came to be. There's a lack of confidence, a lack of, can I do this? Do I have permission? It's not that we don't know our song. We know it. We're just hesitant to play it, to fly our freak flag.
What do you think is causing the hesitancy? And we're going to get into Q&A. Got some people with their hands up and a great question that came in also. But what do you think is creating that hesitancy? It seems of all the personal work and we're showing up for each other and we're connecting even with more community.
Yeah.
You know, social media, these types of conversations that we get to have, we're out there more than we ever have been, but there's still this, I don't fit in, or I don't know how to talk about this, or I don't know how to ask. And there's still also been some of the healing of that self-confidence, but still not that permission to step into it fully. Do you think it's programming from enculturation? Do you think that there's a lot of fear mongering and control happening through some of the powers that would want to keep us in a consumption role according to what's going to benefit that particular mechanism, or what do you really feel is happening?
That whole, there's forces beyond our control. Like there's nothing to do. We can't do anything about that. So
Right.
might as well not give it any attention. The truth is, it's scary to be ourselves because as children, if we were ourselves, we might have gotten punished. And we were trained to comply, to fit in, whatever that looked like for us. And so that program still exists. Like, oh my gosh, if I really do this, am I going to get annihilated? And it's not logical. It's not like someone's going to come out and hit you over the head. Probably not. But that fear is still in there. Like, am I okay as I am? As I am I okay?
Yeah.
It's not about them accepting us. It seems that way. It's about us accepting us. It's about self-love. The woman at the piano doesn't need people to listen or applaud. She just needs to give her permission to play. And play is a key word because when we are at play, we are at our best. We are free. We are unattached. We are not self-consumed with image. We are, you know what it's like to play, like with your friends. You're at your best. And that's what the collective image that I got was about. Like, wow, what if we could release ourselves? Because that's what we want. We want to be optimistic and open and released, deployed.
Right.
And the thing that's in our way is us.
Mm-hmm.
And then how do we give ourselves permission? There's some digging involved in there.
Right. And that digging you do so well. So let's experience some of that. Let's get some people on the call.
So my only request is before we take calls that when you get on, you're in your still point. So when you're going to call in or Zoom in, bring your attention down here and just ask a simple question. I don't need to know the whole story. I'm a psychic. You tell me the whole story, I don't need it. Just simple question.
Keep it simple, straight, not a lot of story. It's
Right.
I'm rolling with you.
Right,
Yes.
and not like, what do you want to tell me, Colby? No. Colby, tell me what's going on with my big toe. Colby, what's going on with me finding love? Colby, is this a symptom of ascension, or is this me a sign that I'm moving too fast? Be specific.
Wonderful. And if y'all start getting too much in the story, don't get mad at me. I'll stop you. I'll interrupt you and ask you for the direct question.
I love that about John.
And I'll do that with a lot of love. And so, Lucy, you're going to start it for us. I'm promoting you as a panelist, and I will ask you to unmute yourself and start your video. Hello, Lucy. We can hear you. Hi.
So my question is, what's in my way of getting health and love?
Pick one, not one or the other, honey.
Health.
What's going to be specific? What's going on with your health? Big toe.
I've been dealing with eyesight, fatigue, maybe Lyme, maybe mold.
Pick one, honey.
Eyesight.
Thank you. What's going on with her eyesight? Nothing's ever really done for you. You show me your ironing, and you can't get a straight seam. It's this, I gotta get it perfect. I have to get it perfect. And it's never quite, you're showing me the pans or whatever this is, and you're showing me it's never quite done. And you're never quite done. You're never quite right. Let me ask why that is. There's so much sadness here regarding your father not seeing you. Oh gosh, it's so sad. Does that resonate with you first, Lucy?
Absolutely, yes.
So Lucy, can you bring your attention into your chest?
Yes.
And say,
I,
Lucy.
Lucy.
Yet there's a lot of sadness in my chest.
There's a lot of sadness in my chest.
For not being recognized by my father.
For not being recognized by my father.
There we go. I accept this, I allow this, and I acknowledge it.
I accept this, I allow this, and I acknowledge it.
How are you, Lucy?
How old am I?
How are you? How are you?
Oh, how am I? A little lighter.
Good. I get, repeat after me, Lucy.
I get.
I'm not perfect.
I'm not perfect.
I'm still lovable.
Not so lovable.
There we go. Can you feel that in your throat?
In my hands.
There you go. Put that on your throat, honey. Put your hands on your throat.
Okay.
There we go. What's happening?
Now I feel something in my solar plexus.
How are you?
Better, I feel like a cloak is being removed.
This is all about you accepting yourself as you are without having to perform. Do you understand, Lucy?
Yes.
There we go. I, repeat after me, Lucy.
I
Accept myself as I am.
accept myself as I am.
Because God does.
Because God does.
There we go. There you go. Breathe, 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 breathe. There you go. What's happening, honey?
I feel my torso expanding.
Good. Look at me, Lucy. Go, ah.
Ah,
Yeah, keep doing that and do it to the ground.
ah,
Ah.
ah,
There you go.
ah,
Keep going louder, Lucy. Ah!
ah, ah,
There you go.
ah, 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 ah,
Good.
ah.
How are you?
I feel lots of energy moving through, like
Mm.
awakening. Lots of stuff in my body.
Good. So Lucy, let's let you rest. And you keep on doing your ahs,
Okay.
until you don't feel like there's anything left. And I'll
Okay.
share a number of practices during this call with John that you may
Awesome.
find
Thank
interesting,
you.
okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in, Lucy, and thanks for being on video with us here. And,
Yeah.
and how wonderful, because I have a feeling that this also has to do with her love life. So it's funny how it all kind of parallels in different ways. So interesting. Lucy, thank you. All right, let's go to another hand raise over here, and then we'll get into some of the questions that are coming in. Let's go to Kat. Kat, promoting you to panelists. And again, I'll ask you to unmute yourself and turn on your video as well. Hello, Kat.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you for taking my call. I was wondering, Colby, if you could talk to me a little bit about my hip and back pain, please.
Sure. Pick one so we have a place to start.
Hips.
Sure.
Thanks.
And your name is Kat. What's up with Kat's hips, honey? Is that you said hips?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're tilted in your hips. And it's mostly a skeletal issue because I see a skeleton like a Halloween skeleton. There is a nerve pinching in the back. Let's see if we could find the fundamental reason why this is happening. Is that okay, Kat?
Yes, please. Thank you.
What's at the root of this? You have a hard time, Kat, cutting off unhealthy relationships. You have a really hard time with that. Can you tell me about that, please? Oh, you're so caught right now. So caught.
I am working on boundary work because I want to always look for a way to be of support for others.
What about you, honey? What about what you want as opposed to attending to other people?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to remember what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So remembering yourself is a real challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And making yourself the priority as opposed to the relationship or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you feel that in your throat?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jesus, young lady, what's in there?
Bricks.
So Kat, you're a lovely person. You really are, you're lovely. And if we lived in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, your strategies would go well. But we don't live in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta take care of yourself and not expect when you take care of somebody else, they will attend to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we're gonna work with you is on saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Yes to you, no to somebody else. Which is really tough for you because you like to say yes to other people and no to you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, yes, I'll go to the movies. No, I wanted to go to dinner, but I'll go to the movies.
Sure.
Right? Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah. because it's about the company and the experience.
Right.
So who cares? Yeah.
Right. And that you know you're a good person. But you're not a good person to you when you betray what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So saying no is not being mean, it's being good to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not good to you, your body's going to be like, I'm mad at you. Who's protecting us?
Hmm. Yeah.
So, Kat, can you close your eyes and bring your attention into your still point?
Mm-hmm.
Down and in you go. And if you guys want to do this with Kat, you just do the same thing. Bring your attention down into your still point, 3 fingers below your belly button, and in the middle of you. And Kat, do you notice you're getting nice and calm?
Yes.
In your still point.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat after me.
I,
Kat,
Cat,
invite the energy of no.
invite the energy of no.
There we go. Here it comes. There you go. And if you have a problem saying no, advocating for yourself and you're at home, just invite the energy of no while you're on this call, while the matrices is being accessed. There we go. There you go, Kat. So notice it's going into your hips.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. What's going on, Kat?
I first felt it pressure here, and then now I feel sort of a settling and a balancing.
There we go. And clearing,
Yes.
clearing, 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 clearing. Good. How are your hips?
They feel level.
Good. Here we go. One more. Good. How is that? How are they now?
Tender. Yeah, thank you.
Good. Test your mobility for me, please.
Oh, that's better than I could do all day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bend over, honey. See that? There's a little, there we go. Let's move that.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mom.
Thank you.
She'll be with you in a moment, sweetie.
I'm in the
How are
corner. Good, good. They're like settling better. I mean, all day I've been limping. So yeah, much better. Thank you.
So here's my homework for you.
Mm-hmm.
Every night you're going to say, where did I not say no?
Finally, I did that.
Where did I not say no?
Where did I pretend to say yes?
I finally did
Where
that.
did I-
Please.
Where did I pretend to say yes?
That's your homework. And then the next day you could either rectify and be like, you know, I really didn't want a squash sandwich. I really wanted tuna, whatever.
You messed it
Mhm.
up.
Start to take account and tell on yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I believe you'll notice a change in your hips.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
My
That's
pleasure.
wonderful.
Thank
That's
you,
wonderful.
thank you.
I have a perspective for you as well, as part of the continuation of the exercise. When you find yourself in the situations of saying yes or no, even subtle ones, again, going to the movies instead of dinner or whatever, what would you choose for your daughter? What would you choose for your son in that situation? How would you want them to live their life if they were in that situation, and choose that for yourself? If you can do it for your kids, which I know you can, because you show up for someone else, then consciously mother that part of you. Get in mother role and say, this is what I choose. This is what I want to say yes. Or this is how I choose to have a relationship with you. Let's do this. Or that sounds great, but I want to try this.
Mm-hmm.
And allow people to show up in that. And if they don't, it's okay.
Yeah,
because the ones that do want to play with you, I promise you will show up.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome perspective. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks for calling in. So
Thank
amazing.
you so much. Thanks.
All right, Colby, let's go now to, you know what? Before we get into some more Q&A, I want to go into the special offer because it's as we've witnessed just a couple of these, and again, such quick chefs. That's what I told you guys. Colby just like goes straight to what's lit up and just the expansion takes place, the release.
You're sweet.
Yeah, whatever. I
That's
just tell
great.
it like it is. There's no sweetness. I'm truthful. Maybe sweet also, but
You're sweet.
truthful is where I am. So y'all click on the special offer button. It's right above this video. If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll find the special offer button. In case you can't find it, April is typing it into the chat box. April, that's your cue. So you can click on that as well, or you can type in your web browser beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Colby22. And April is a little bit slow typing right now, but I promise you it'll be up there in a second. Gosh, she's typically on top of it. There it is. Be all going again. It includes 30 minutes of Colby and this Ascension program, and it's fascinating. So Colby, guide us through what you've put together here for us.
Sure. So just like our last caller was not listening to her innate wisdom and going beyond it, and now her hips hurt. This package is for those people who have done too much work and have not listened to their own wisdom. And in a well-meaning attempt to heal themselves, they've made their situation worse. So the package starts off with this amazing live ceremony that helps people reintegrate back into time, into earth, where we apologize to our bodies and we apologize to the earth. And that springboards you into a cooperative relationship with the body, which is the next piece, where your body is your tool. If you don't know how to cooperate with it, you are going to land in trouble. And then we move into energy triage, how to clear yourself of unwanted energies that you've taken on from relationships, workshops, healers, doctors, communities, and you're just overfilled with stuff. You're brimming, and your nervous system is having a hard time finding its way through. And then we go into Mr. Clean, how to clean yourself off of anything, anywhere, and anytime. As an intuitive, as an empath, it can be hard for us to go to IKEA, hard for us to go to Costco, hard for us to be in front of somebody negative. But we don't want to be isolated. We don't want to be alienated. We want to live our lives. And so Mr. Clean allows you to move through the world safely, keeping your consciousness intact. Then we move to your best friend, the earth, because that's your best friend. That's where the life force comes from. And if you do not have a cooperative relationship with the earth, you feel fragmented, you feel anxious, you're depressed, you can't find your place. And then we do turning gold, which is about you can feel good anywhere at any time by these 5 or so simple practices that pretty much have immediate results. And finally, the package ends with a live Q&A on Zoom, because I want to dot my I's and cross my T's so that you have an opportunity to ask me any questions about the package and any questions about you and where you're stuck, so that you are launched or relaunched into a greater thriving life. That's package A.
And it includes a bonus tree ceremony.
It does. Have you listened to it?
No, I haven't listened to it yet.
I sing in it. I sing.
No way.
I do. I'm not a good singer, but the energy's that.
I was going to say, so do I want to listen to it?
You do.
I'm kidding. Of course we
You
do.
The new tree ceremony is for people who want a complete do-over.
That's awesome.
It is taking down the old tree, honoring it, blessing it, and making room for a new tree. However, warning, this is not for people who want to hold on to anything. This is a complete surrender. Beware, it is a game changer.
Total reset.
Or
So all these recordings, 2 live calls, which by the way, the first one takes Kate in the Lion Gates portal. Talk about an ascensionary energy for 8/8,
Ooh.
August 8th, which is fascinating. The body comes first, the ascension redemption matrix, and again, the body comes first. It's so huge because again, you talk about taking back the healing power of your body's higher consciousness. And that's what just happened with our first 2 live callers. The body's higher consciousness aligned with the truth. And in that, these disparate things that were going on physically tweaked back into place. They opened up, they expanded. So that's fascinating. The energy triage, again, gain mastery over your aura and learning how to control your own space. Amazing. The cleaning space, again, without being restricted, really staying clear wherever we are, even in the most chaotic environments. I wanted to get back into the best friend, the earth. Colby, it's been even stronger for me than it was in the past. And I've always had this immense connection. But now what I'm feeling in my connection to the elemental realm, to Gaia, is that when I'm not in relationship with her, I'm finding very consciously that I'm not as in tune, that my energy is really kind of drudging through the mud. And the second I get back out and spend time, and time doesn't mean 5 minutes, it's like really getting in relationship with her, having the intimacy. And that's going for a meditative walk for an hour, submerging myself, listening to tracks that help me connect into vibrationally attune, that all my faculties light up in a way that had seemed to be dormant for a long time. So this is huge.
Most people think they live on the earth, but we are actually walking earth consciousness.
Yeah.
We're not just walking. We have to own the fact that we are earth. And when we own that, vitality, prosperity is ours.
Yep. It's abundance. It's abundance streams through, and it's not abundance in the material realm, even though it can facilitate that, but you feel this abundance of the vitality of life. And that's something that nothing can buy. When you own that, everything is yours. Nothing is not yours. It's amazing. It's amazing, the difference. And again, the live Q&A, the live Zoom call with Colby on August 23rd is happening again. Ask your personal questions. Go into what's coming up for you. Any questions that you had about the package, the new tree ceremony. I was joking about your voice and whether or not we should listen. That sounds amazing, Colby. That reset sounds amazing. So, that's the first package. That's $97 by itself. 2 payment option on that as well. And then Colby, a 30-minute private session is included in package B. So everything in package A, plus the 30-minute private session. Both of those are $197. And Colby, I know that we're experiencing a snippet of the type of work that you do in a private session. What else do people receive, or what can they talk to you about when they're one-on-one with you?
Generally people talk about where they're stuck and where they're feeling limited. So it could be a physical issue, could be around relationships and love, could be health, it could be their spirituality. The other day I had a great session, and the woman said at the end, "I feel closer to God than I've ever felt." And I was like, wow, that's beautiful. So that's what you can expect, that kind of result. And it's not me who's doing the healing. I'm just following you with compassion and hopefully some humor.
A lot of humor and a lot of compassion. And okay, I have to warn you all, Colby doesn't do the BS stuff. He'll very compassionately let you, not let you, but be present with you as things come up. But when you start getting away from yourself, you're so good at valuing our time together and really bringing us back to that center so that it's really an efficient, loving, and transformative process. We don't get lost in this thread that is just going to take us on a rabbit trail where we hit a dead end. That expansion always seems to take place. So it's so wonderful. Yeah, so good. So again, y'all take advantage of the special offer. It's right there with package A and package B. Package B again includes the 30-minute private session with Colby as well. And again, you can find it by clicking on the special offer button just right above this video where you're watching this call from or listening from. Or you can click on the chat box that April posted here in the chat, or go to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Colby22. And Lucy says, "You rock, Colby." John, you also, thank you. She is still doing her graz. I love that you did that live with us. So awesome. And way to show up for yourself. So thank you, Lucy, for writing that. Let me go into a question now. So I think it's AC, Ais. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. AYSE. She writes, "Hi, Colby. I would like to know how to separate my prosperity from my employment. I can't work harder and I'm tired, but I'd like more money in my life. How do I bring in money not related to my job?"
Okay, AC, let me see. You know what? So AC, my first question is, why do you do a job? It's not rewarding for you. You don't like it. You're working for the money, and when you work for money, you work for every dime. You're an artist. You need to accept that. And if you could do art for a living, great. And if you need to do work to support your art, great. But you're not doing either. You need to heed your artistic nature and let it come forward. Whatever that looks like. You are denying yourself, and therefore you're tired and exhausted and don't feel like you could work more. But when you're working from your essence, you have lots of energy. Tons. You don't have a problem, EC, with money, with income. You have a problem accepting your own creativity. With love and compassion, I say that.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting how our bodies are being more congruent with us, are bringing us back to more integrity than our mind could have in the ways that we function.
When we're in pain, doesn't seem that way, but it's true. True. Yeah.
The body's saying, stop, something ain't right with this ride, and we need to shift something. And if you want to work harder to earn it, guess what? You're going to feel that also. And so something's going to need to change. So again, the wisdom, the intelligence of our body is becoming even more conscious, or we're becoming awake to its consciousness and how we're interrelating to create our lives. And I think that's part of the big shift that's happening as well. I don't think I know. It's a huge part of the shift. So amazing. Thank you, AC, for writing in. Let's go to live caller again. Let's go Jamie. Jamie, I'm making you a panelist, and please correct the pronunciation of your name, please, as you come on live. Again, I'll ask you to unmute your microphone and turn your video.
Oh my gosh, I knew you were going to call on me.
Well, then you should have been ready.
My bad.
Love that background. That's awesome.
It's a chair.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, my question is, I don't want to take up too much of everybody's time, but what's up with my scar pain?
Your what pain?
My scar pain.
Where is it, honey?
So I had surgery, a C-section, 2 C-sections, and that flares up pretty regularly, and it's making life miserable.
Understood. So it's in your private region.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask. So you show me a car, it's a red car, convertible, Cadillac kind of thing, 50s, and the left tire is de-inflated. You keep trying to inflate it and it won't hold. Metaphorically, you need a jack, you need to take it off and patch the tire. Let me ask what that means. What did she? So they're telling me you do not want to stop and look and take account of where you're leaking your energy. You just want to keep going. You just like, it's like, okay, my life wasn't working really well. Now it's really not working. I want to go back to when it wasn't working as well. But you don't want to fix what wasn't working. Do you understand?
Yes, yes,
Do you know what I'm referring to about what's not working?
yes.
You want to tell me?
Could be my relationship,
With?
my husband.
Ah, and can you tell, I know you're moving, so I'm assuming you're trying to get privacy.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable telling me his name so I can take a deeper look?
Yeah, his name is Alim.
Oh my God. He is so lazy. He's sitting in the car with you and he's ignoring it even worse. He's just
Well,
like looking out the window.
Well, I think for a lot of our relationship, I felt like I was a bird with a broken wing, and I was trying to fly for both of us.
Yeah, you're the one getting out, trying to patch the tire, and he's sitting in the convertible waiting for you to do the work.
That has been true historically. And now when you say doing the work, you know, the emotional, spiritual work, yes, it has been all me. He still very much doesn't like to connect with his own emotions. And that's what I sort of want, is connection. But I don't think he knows how.
Can you feel right through here, you are losing energy?
Yes.
Can you feel that? So run your hand down. Feel there's an energy gap. That's you trying to support your relationship.
Yeah.
That's you leaking energy out of your left tire. That's you giving away your energy for a relationship. And that's not working for your system. And you don't know what else to do. And so you keep doing it. As opposed to getting out of the car and saying, I'm no longer going to feed our relationship my energy. Relationships don't work if you're feeding them energy. They work because the energies are collecting. It's like a Venn diagram. They are self-generating. But you have yet to say, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not sacrificing my energy for this unrewarding relationship.
Well, on a lot of levels, it's a good relationship. He's a good dad. He supports, you know.
What's happening to your body when you say that to me?
But there is this sense of, yeah, but there is this one part that I really want that I'm not getting.
You didn't answer my question. What's happening to your body as you said that to me? Yeah, but he's a good husband, good provider.
The scar pain, which wasn't hurting, is making itself known a little bit.
What do you take from that?
Well, that you're right. But he's the father of I don't want to walk away from the
I'm
relationship.
not suggesting you walk away. I'm not suggesting he's not a good man. I'm suggesting you stop feeding the relationship your energy. It is not your job to make this relationship work. Can you let that down? Can you relinquish that obligation?
It's hard.
I know, and I imagine it's really scary.
What does that look like?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's let the universe take care of it. Do you want to intend letting it go?
Yes.
And are you willing to let it go? Are you willing to be willing to let it go?
Yes.
Perfect. So if you are listening and you want to let go of something, that you don't think is good for you anymore, but you don't know how, this practice is for you.
Okay.
So repeat after, bring your attention down and in. 3 fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you. There you go. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Repeat after me. I,
I,
say your name,
Jamie,
get,
get,
I've betrayed my body,
I have betrayed my body,
giving more of it
giving more of it
than is appropriate.
than is appropriate.
I apologize to you, body.
And I apologize to you, body.
There we go. Feel that?
Yes,
What do you feel?
yes,
I got your message. Repeat after me. I got your message.
I got your message.
There you go. What's happening?
Yeah, it's the areas feeling softer. Yeah, like a loosening.
There you go. I no longer
I'm no longer
will sacrifice you
will sacrifice you
for my feeling
for my feeling,
of stability,
the stability
of security.
of security.
I will no longer sacrifice you.
I will no longer sacrifice you.
There you go. There you go. Oh, what's happening?
I feel a lot of heat on my crown, my face. My face feels flushed.
Now put your hand on where you were losing that energy. Both hands, and just hang out there. There you go. There you go. Repeat after me. I heard you, body.
Heard you, body.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
I will no longer
I will no longer
rip you open
rip you open.
to support this relationship.
Support this relationship.
There you go. There you go. You literally were ripped open to bear your children. Now you're you're ripping yourself open to support your relationship. Interesting metaphor. How do you feel?
A lot of heat just coming up, like I'm almost sweating. And the scar area, you know, it's making itself known, but it's softer.
So honey, you don't need to worry about choosing the relationship or not choosing the relationship. Let that paradigm go.
Okay.
What I'm inviting you to do is have your body come first. And everything else will sort itself out in a good way. If you get caught, oh, he's a good father, I don't want to leave, what will I do for work, money? Let that anxiety go. My body comes first. Maybe if you stop feeding him energy, he'll wake up.
Colby, I want to ask a question. Yamini, are you feeling a little nervousness or a little anxious right now?
Yes.
I feel it. I feel it. What's the next phase of this call? Because we don't want to leave Yamini in that, obviously.
Right, so like I said, don't be concerned about leaving or staying or what to do. Just put your body first. I'm in this marriage for now, maybe forever, but I'm not going to sacrifice myself anymore. I don't want to be in pain. If I have to give up my body in order to support this relationship, my body's saying no. There is another way possible, because you have it. I either sacrifice myself or I have a relationship. There is a third option. And I invite you to explore that.
Well, Colby, I want to give an option for a third option as a tool, as a bridge. Siamini. So if you look at it etherically, if your husband was walking ahead of you the whole time and you put yourself behind, what if you just put yourself side by side? Just put yourself side by side. You're equals. You're equals as you're walking. And as decisions come up that put in a disparity where he's walking ahead and it feels non-integral to your body, then guess what? You get to break any cultural upbringing, any belief systems and say, no, I get to choose walking equally to anybody else because that is my divine right.
Yes.
I'm not higher, I'm not lower, but I insist, I command that I walk
think
equally.
more
I
than
walk
him,
equally with those who walk with me.
yeah, I think more than him doing that to me, because he really is supportive. It's my own thing of,
I get
yeah, I
that.
can have my dream, but his dream is bigger than mine. That's a that's a me thing, and I recognize that. So I like what you suggested, that seeing that as a parity, as an equal, which truly, in so many ways in my marriage, he does, and sometimes he puts me forward, but this is a me thing.
Well, and look at how the world is functioning right now. The world is the way it is because it's out of balance. So
Yes.
if you look what's happening as the world as a parallel for your life, you're out of balance. So
Balance.
always strive for that balance. Walk in an equal line, an equal plane. And that way you honor yourself. And if your body's not being honored, then you need to push ahead a little bit. You need to insist on that. And then the others can be invited back into that balance through integrity, through love, through the sincerity of your transparency. And it'll show up for you. So it's a great exercise. Colby,
Thank
you're
you.
amazing.
You
You're
both
amazing.
are.
So good. Yamini, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. Amazing. Okay, let's see here. There is a question that came in. Okay, anonymous attendee, if you can type your name in. I like the questions, but I can't really get to that right now. So we've got a really personal question that came in, and this question comes in from Jordan 316. Jordan writes, I desperately need to know if I should reconnect with my ex. I've done a lot of healing lately, and he has resurfaced saying that he wants to be together.
He desperately needs to know.
Jordan 316 desperately needs to know. Mm-hmm.
So, Jordan, you gave yourself away with desperately. When you're in desperately, you're in your ego, in your mind, and you're not connected to your spirit because you're trying to grasp or not make a mistake. So that gives you away. So the answer is no. Do not connect now. Find your center. Don't look for somebody or a relationship to calm you or to make you feel secure or stable. That's giving away your power. Let's wait until you could re-find your center, and I could share with you a number of practices that can get you more grounded and calm, so that way you can sense into whether this is your best interest or this is your ability to grab a binky or a cookie or alcohol to soothe your anxiety. But you don't want to bring somebody in to soothe your anxiety. You want to bring somebody in from a place of love. And if you do that, then the relationship has that foundation. If you don't do that, and you do it from a place of needing to soothe, then that's your foundation, and it will corrupt the relationship.
Beautiful. There you go, Jordan. Sage Colby. Just, again, right on the spot. And yeah, you nailed it with the desperately. And it's funny, Colby, we read, these poems that are written, these Hafiz poems, or, the sayings, if it's meant for you, it'll always be for you. And while it sounds wonderful, until we embody this truth and can relax into the truth, which they're really engendering, then we know that we're seeking something outside of ourselves. But when we can be so in alignment with knowing and trusting who we are and trusting that source that has given us life,
Right.
in
Yeah.
providing.
What's coming to us, but
Right.
we don't have to have it to be happy.
Exactly. It doesn't define us. It can never be a source outside of us. So again, I love that you nailed it with the desperately. So even as y'all type the questions in here, look for trigger words like that come up and go, oh, what am I doing there? Hold on a second. And it's a good way to put on the therapist goggles for yourself and see, where am I a little off balance or seeking outside of myself when I ask these
And
questions?
it's hard to hold on to yourself when you're in that space.
Yeah.
It's challenging, and we need to learn practices that when we start losing our mind, we go to our practices. And I have a list on my fridge, because when I lose it, I'm not thinking so straight. Okay, what do I know how to do? What will bring me back?
Mm-hmm. So wonderful. So Colby, I want to get back to the special offer for a few minutes. With all the questions we've been picking up, as people go through the Ascension Redemption, through the audio tracks, and of course we know the private sessions. I think y'all know enough about the way Cody reads now, how beneficial the private 30-minute time is going to be. With the recordings and the MP3s, how will that help get people back into the attunement to get these answers for themselves, to realize the empowerment that they have?
Look, I'm lazy, and I don't have a lot of focus, or didn't. So I find that practices that are really quick, that give kind of instant results, I will do.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm driving, when I'm walking, when I began my journey, I couldn't meditate for 20 minutes. I couldn't sit still. So there are, in each MP3, there's about 5 to 8 practices, which you can do to bring yourself either into the earth, cleaning up your space, recalibrating, letting go of something, to bring you back to a grounded, centered, balanced, and aligned space. So like, for instance, before this call, I did a practice. It took a minute. I centered in, and then I do my thing. And when I go on a date tonight, I will do the same thing, because you don't enter into an elevated state. Well, I don't, and stay there. I have to continually kind of reposition myself back into an elevated state. And there are practices that you can do to reorient your psychic anatomy, because you have energetic structures that you could learn to position to bring you into greater alignment. And that's what the practices in the package do.
Fantastic. And they're quick, and they build up. There's like these integrations and this gradual attunement that continues to happen. And all of a sudden you find that it's so easy to attune. If you find yourself a little off balance, it's like, oh, here we go. And it's like the stream of consciousness into that octave becomes that much more easy to tune into. And so I love that you do these practices, and then you start seeing, whenever you attune, I bet you start seeing the disparity of something that's out of tune that much more quickly as well.
It's true. And when I'm attuned, I see what's really in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can see what I've been missing, like how awesome the tree is, how beautiful that bark is.
And that presence, wow.
Yeah, it's just, you know, even though we've done a lot of work, John, you and I, we still have our moments.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully we don't stay as long as we did.
I have my moments twice a day at 9 a.m. and at about 1 p.m. every day, and then they're gone. I wish I can schedule them like that, yes. But yeah, we definitely have our moments. And how wonderful that we're not in control of them, because that's also part of the sensual experience that we have of being human, and learning from it, and also learning, being in the artfulness of this life. And it gets to a point where you learn how to appreciate the discomfort in ways that you couldn't have before, because you know what's potentially on the other side, or what you're creating with it. And so it's really an empowered way to create your life and to relate with others in your creation. It's so wonderful. All right, the special offer, y'all, you know where to access it. Click on the special offer button. April has typed the link in the chat box. or go to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Colby22. Take you to that same page where you can check out, start receiving the downloads, get ready for the August 8th call. And if you choose the private session, get on the books of Colby sooner rather than later. So definitely take advantage of that. Colby, let's go to another live caller here. I want to go to Philomena.
Ooh, Philomena.
Philomena, let's see if you. All right, I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to promote you to a panelist, Philomena. It's not letting me do it. I'm going to try one more time. Oh, it knocked Philomena off for a second. So Philomena, as you come back, give us a second. I'm going to ask Colby this other question that came in. Okay, when Lucy's asking, when does the special offer end? What's the date? Well, the special offer is going to be up through the end of the season. So if you missed the live call on August 8th, that'll be pre-recorded, or that'll be recorded. So you'll have access to that. And then I believe the last live call is August 23rd. Is that right, Colby?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's August 23rd for the last live Q&A. And of course, that'll be recorded as well. So you'll have access to all of this. And the private sessions with Colby, we're running encores through the end of the season. So encores will run through the end of August as well, probably until about August 23rd, where the special offer will still be accessible. So yeah, you can take advantage of that there. And let's see here. Philomena has still not come on. So Janet, it is your lucky day, or it's our blessed day.
There you go.
It's our blessed day.
Nice.
Janet, to have you on the call, if you will unmute yourself and turn on your video, that would be fantastic, Janet. And Janet, I don't see a microphone for you, so hopefully a microphone comes up here shortly so that we can have you on. And before you come up, here comes Janet. All right, Janet, I am seeing your black computer screen. You're kind of under, but we need to find a microphone for you. If there's a way that maybe if you have headphones in, take the headphones out, or do something on the settings in your computer.
She seems like she has really nice hair.
Well, I can't tell. She's completely dark from me. Hi, Janet.
Hey.
Oh, Philomena's on. Janet, I'm going to put you on hold. All right, Philomena, and I have to ask you to unmute. You came on for a second and you disappeared. And Philomena just hung up. Okay, now we have, okay, this is comical today. Janet, you can unmute yourself now. I see your microphone.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We can. Hi, Janet.
Great. I couldn't hear anything. It was like nothing was there.
So, Janet, what's your question for Colby?
My question for Colby is, how do I calm down a nervous system that is wild? I had a stroke a year ago. It was not muscular, it was sensory. And so it was on the right side of my brain, and the left side of my body feels like a Brillo pad, but I have all of my muscular motion. It's just a sensory thing. So I've had a lot of stressful things going on in the last couple of years, and I'm really working to get rid of that left side of my body feeling like a Brillo pad.
The problem is in your brain.
Yeah.
And I would recommend, in addition to what I'm going to do, you look up and see a chiropractic neurologist.
Okay.
To help you because that part of your brain seems inflamed to me when I look at it. And so we need to bring down the inflammation in your brain. You understand so far?
Yep. A neurological chiropractor.
neurologic chiropractor. And so close your eyes and bring your attention into your still point. Okay? Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Are you sitting in a chair, hon?
Yes.
Wonderful. Repeat after me. I
I
call upon
call upon
the Earth's magnesium
the Earth's magnesium.
rise up.
Pardon?
Rise up
Rise up
into me now.
into me now.
There we go. So we're calling on the Earth's magnesium, and if you want to do this at home and take advantage of the Earth's elements, there you go. Good. Like I said, we're walking Earth's consciousness, and the Earth is where our healing, for the most part, for our physical body comes from. There we go. What do you feel, hon?
Well, I'm feeling less tingly in the left side of my body. So, yes. Mhm.
Let's increase the flow, okay?
Okay.
I ask,
Pardon?
I ask,
I have.
I ask for the flow
Yes. ASK. I
Oh,
ask.
Okay, thank you. I ask for the flow
to increase.
to increase.
There we go. There we go. There you go. The tingly should be much, the Brillo equality will reduce in just a moment. There it is. How's it going?
It's better. It's less. It's decreasing.
Let's do one more, okay?
Okay.
I invite the energy of iron
I invite the energy of iron
to flow up through the earth to me.
to move up through the earth to me.
There we go. There you go. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm better.
Good. How's your Brillo tingly qualityness?
It's actually less than it was.
Yeah.
That's my measuring stick. My tingly hand.
So in the package, there are several elements we call up
Okay.
that give you some relief. But what's going on in your brain needs to be addressed, in my experience, by a chiropractic neurologist. Chiropractic neurologist would really aid you.
Okay.
Okay?
I thank you for telling me that.
My pleasure, honey.
All right,
Okay.
Jan, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you. Thank you.
Philomena, you're on. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, woman.
Get with the program here. Get with the technology. Be modern. What's your problem? You live in a city.
That's awesome. Great to have you on here. What's your question for Colby?
Okay, I have this energy clearing on the left side of my body where I can hear like frequency pitches and I sing prayer songs when the frequencies come in to clear. So on the left side, there's a clearing and there's sort of like an energy in my left hip. And also I'm with my body and I'm sleeping a lot to compensate for the energies.
So what's your question?
So,
That's nice. What do you want?
huh?
What's your question?
from your perspective, do you have anything to offer in terms of like what is going on with the body, and if I'm getting in the way of understanding something, it needs to move forward with it so that I'm not stuck. There's this
Oh,
energy.
Colby.
There's this
Philomena,
energy of
I have
being
to interrupt. I have to interrupt. Colby, is this part of the ascension overload, wanting to know so much of the process that nothing ever moves?
You got it, John. John wins.
So if you didn't tune into the beginning of the call again, the ascension is symptoms. It's like, what's too much, and how's that keeping us stuck? And the question that you're asking, it's so from here wanting to know what's going on, but not being with what's going on. And so Colby, how can you motivate Philomena or provide a perspective to really help her to facilitate the integration or the resting for her to acclimate to what's occurring?
I'm glad to give it a go. So Philomena, you're having energies come in to your left side, yes? Or out?
Energies come in all the time, my dear. It's more I can feel my body on the left side is clearing some sort of energetic, and specifically like in my left sort of like hip, lower back, I noticed just energetically there's some alignment there.
Why are you letting this? You're letting something happen to you that is not so comfortable. Why? Why?
Yeah, oh, my field is open.
This goes under the category, and I like you very much, of look what's happening to me. I'm special. And I can't control it.
And what?
I'm special and I can't control it. See how special I am? I can't control these energetic psychic symptoms. So feel into that.
Okay.
Spirituality should feel good.
Yeah.
Abundant, should feel radiant, should feel open.
Yeah.
Shouldn't involve suffering.
Uh-huh.
Shouldn't involve weirdness. Calm, presence, well-being. And right now, the ego is taking you on the ascension train. I want something to happen, and I'm not so thrilled with life. But look what's happening. I am evolving. But the truth is, this is life here.
Yeah.
And you're not so thrilled with it, and so you've got a lot of craziness going on.
Yeah.
Blow the crap out of your body. And at the end of the day, in a couple of years, I'll see you, and you'll be all you could be all messed up.
Uh-huh.
I want you to stop doing what you're doing. Reprioritize. This is my body. This is what I'm going to liberate with this body. I'm not going to liberate from it. You have the from.
Uh-huh.
You're not liberating with.
Yeah, that's a pattern.
Yeah. We don't want to ascend out of pace with our body.
And Colby, I want to rephrase something. It's not a pattern. It was a blind spot until it just wasn't.
Correct.
Mm.
So really feel into that, because we're not making you wrong. It's just if you couldn't see it, now you can. Now you can make a different choice. I'm sorry, Colby.
No, it's fine. Just take what I'm saying and whatever resonates with you, great. I've done the same thing to myself. That's why I wrote the package. I did so much work in an effort to liberate quickly that I tanked myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I did so much work out of an egoic place because I wasn't so happy here. At least become liberated. So, can we try something?
Okay.
Awesome. Bring your attention into your still point. 3 fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you.
Okay.
You're leaning forward. Get your posture straight. Put your jaw in. There you go. And breathe. Repeat after me.
I
Yet I may have.
may have
Then too much, too quick.
Too much, too quick.
I get that now and I accept it.
I accept it.
And I get it.
I get it.
There you go. You'll feel some swirling around you. I ask now,
I ask now
recalibrated.
to be recalibrated,
There you go. In pace with my body.
in pace with my body.
Now,
Now,
if you want to do this at home, you just say the same words or approximately the same words. There you go. There you go. What's happening?
just being in my body,
Hmm?
being calm in my body.
That's different for you, yeah?
Yeah, that's different.
Nice straight posture. Jaw back. Oh. What's happening?
Bringing calmness into the lower back area where there's anxiety, kidneys, too much energy in the kidneys.
Good. Notice your left side is integrating now with your right. Good. There you go. There's the link up. And there's a spark of joy coming your way. Faster and more is not necessarily better in terms of liberation, therapy, or healing. It needs to be in pace with your body.
Yeah,
Body is the perfect vehicle for you in this lifetime. Your body's saying too much. Too much.
take a break from it. Hey, go be a human being. Hey, what do humans do?
Well, you're not so in love with being human. And that,
No.
you know, got you going on this. Right? It's spirituality and being human that need to find their way together.
Yeah, how do I be a human being?
Doing that, that's wonderful. And that's part of the practice. And I'd say go into the special offer also and remember the grounded in the embodiment of it. It's so important right now. And again, that's why I was so happy to have Colby on the show and his way of bringing it in and expanding that awareness of our higher self, of our innate being, all the ascensionary information intelligence that we're receiving and being in our humanness with it. Because you can't help but to be human with it. You are human. So to pretend that you're not is part of that spiritual ego that comes into play as well. And I say, screw that. It's stopping us and preventing us from living the life
Yeah.
that we say that we can live. And so, Philomena, you're way cool. I hope you take these practices and run with them. And thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Colby, amazing. It's, y'all, again, Colby's special offer, you know how to get to it. Click on the special offer button. The link's in the chat box, beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Colby22. First package with the recordings, 2 live calls. The first call starts in the Lion's Gate, even though Colby's not promoting it that way I am. 8/8 is the first live call, and then the wrap-up call, live call, the Q&A on August 23rd. So all that's $97. Package B includes all of that plus a 30-minute private session with Colby, which I highly recommend. Again, you've experienced it here on today's call, and you get to go even deeper and talk about even more topics. And he may even do some predictions like he has for me. I won't talk about that live on the call right now, but it's pretty exciting. And dive in. Again, take advantage of the special offer. And we'll run the replay of this call all week long. It'll go up in a couple of hours, more than likely, depending on how long it takes the video to render. But you can watch or listen to the replay and definitely come back and get into these energies. For all of y'all who raised your hand, who called in live, who participated and shared so beautifully and elegantly and vulnerably, thank you for your mastery in that, because we all learn from that as well. And with that, Colby, thank you so much
Oh,
for
my pleasure.
coming back on the show.
And I love you.
Yeah, I love you too, brother. And love you all. Sending y'all a huge hug, all my love. And I look forward to seeing you on the next call. Have a great evening.